How's it going, YouTube? Jimmie Walker here again. So, whenever we last... this hell, folks. Come here. Okay, so anyway, sorry, I had to do that. This way it can kind of help me speak a little bit. And as you can see, I'm not stuttering anymore or messing up like Porky Pig does. So, anyways, right, where we last left off, we went ahead and created the windows and the glass and everything for the windows, and we created another layer to actually kind of like hide all of that miscellaneousness. Yeah, that's a new word, miscellaneousness. So I figures what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create the front and rear bumper. Now this image doesn't have the bumper in it, but that is okay because I have an image on my inside my tutorial folder that does have that. So yeah, we're just going to jump right on in, and we're just going to get her done. So one thing about the windshield, I'm just now noticing this. No, I do not want the door. I want the windshield. Oh, duh, because I don't have the windshield viewable. So, the windshield actually needs to come way out. And I'm not going to move it really far out. I'm just going to do something kind of like this. I'm going to move these out like so. And so, by doing this, I'm going to go ahead and just select all these, screw it. Is what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take these, I'm just going to move them out a little bit like this. I'm just going to give it that little bubble right there. So now it actually curves out like we kind of like we'd expect it to. So when we press 3, we'll have this windshield kind of like that. Now, if you want, you can always select this, the top of the truck, man. Sorry. You can always select this, and you can do the same thing. You just select these vertices, and yeah, see. This is why I move it off to the side, because this way I can just deselect those. I know I have these selected. You can move this forward. And then is what you'll do is you'll select these, like so. Oh wow, actually you selected the right ones. And then you just move these forward a little bit. Then you press 3 on this and make sure that everything matches up. And that does not look half bad, and that does not look half bad. So that's pretty much all I do with that. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and save this real quick. The bumper. And you could tweak this out. In fact, something I am going to do, I'm going to go into Vertex real quick, and I'm going to select all of these vertices. I'm going to go into the side view. Come on, Maya. Move these forward. And then I'm going to deselect those. I'm just going to move these forward like so. And because I have done, and I need to move these forward a little bit more, something kind of like that. Because I've done that down there, now I need to do this right here. I'll move this one out just a little bit. And so now we have this shape, and that does not look too bad at all. This way we have a nice curved windshield and everything, and everybody's happy. Everybody likes to be happy. Nobody likes to be unhappy. So, okay, enough with that nonsense. The bumper stops right about here. Is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go blah. Let me minimize all those. Yeah, my internet's not working right now. So if you're like, hey, look, he's uploading another video. What? That's why, because you can see this icon down here. It's like, screw you, Jimmie. And it's like, yay. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. I do have high-speed internet, but I'm not going to call it high-speed. I'm just going to call it crap internet, because typically that's what it is most of the time. It's crap. See, this is where I wish I had my internet, because this way I could look up a reference image and be like, aha, this is how far back. Okay, so we can kind of see it right here. So the back bumper does come up like the image shows. It just kind of wraps around. That's really all I was looking for. That makes me happy. I might actually be able to sleep tonight because of that, or sleep today. I know my clock says 11:27 a.m. Right now I'm actually on 3rd shift, so whenever I say sleep tonight, technically I actually get off at 8 in the morning whenever I'm on this shift. And because of that, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say right now. Because of that, my sleep schedule is like, it's complete whack. You know, so anyways, back to the tutorial. Sorry, couldn't resist. So I'm just creating an edge loop. It doesn't have to be right here in the middle like I did. Honestly, well, let me just undo that real quick. So if you want to create an edge loop, you can actually create one over here. That does not matter where you create it. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm deleting these faces, and so this way I just have to work with this one side. That is literally the only reason why I even created that to begin with. But I do want to move this over. And the reason why, because this actually folds in some, so there we go. I'm going to click on that face right there. I'm going to go to extrude. I'm just going to pull it forward, then I'm going to pull it back. I actually want this to have a gap. A gap is actually fairly important to believe it or not. So I do want the gap. The gap is a must. See, why does mine even do this? Like, I didn't even try to select that, and it's like, here you go. I don't know. So anyways, whenever I extrude this, whoa, hello. Whenever I extrude this, I'm going to rotate it a little bit, pull it right about here. I'm going to press the repeat, which is G. Then I'm going to pull this right about, okay, there's another one right there. Just move that over here. And then let me move this over here. And if you're wondering, I'm really hitting G that quick. Because my hand is already over, it's over WER, and so all I do is just move my finger. Yeah, that sounds dirty. So anyways, that's all I'm doing is I'm just moving my finger over and quickly pressing that key. So right here, the bumper actually stops right here. So I'm probably actually going to want to select this edge. I'm going to move it back just a little bit. And I'm going to select these right here. I'm going to move these back right, I'm thinking probably right about there. This extra edge is actually very necessary because whenever I click on extrude one more time, I'm going to extrude out, but then I'm going to extrude down. And then I need to go into this view, and I just need to extrude in just a little bit like that. So now when we create the bumper, whenever we take a look at it in a smooth preview, we can see that it has this nice smooth edge on it. Now obviously the bumpers are not that rounded. It's quite apparent that they're not, but I'm actually going to create this edge loop right about here. Going to want some distance. Not too much, but I do want some distance. So this way when I smooth it down like that, now we have this shape. And as you can see, that looks more like what you'd expect a bumper to really look like. So what I want to do now is I want to go into vertex mode. You can go into vertex edge. Actually, I think I'm going to do edge. I think that'll be a little bit easier. So I'm going to select this whole edge loop. And I can do this one because of the fact that, well, it's a corner edge. So it's not going to really... I did not want to do that. But it's a corner edge, so therefore I don't really have to worry about a whole lot. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this out, and I'm going to pull it over like this. Probably want to do that just a little bit more. Not too much, but just a little bit more. And so now we have this weird, funky shape. And it actually selected that entire edge loop. Maya, why would you do this to me? So I'm going to deselect that whole edge loop. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to double click right there. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so now I can pull this forward and pull this over like this. And that's more of a shape that we'd expect to see, where it has this little bit of an edge that's being dropped down. So anyways, so how are you doing, YouTube? I'm doing great. I know you're not asking, but I'm doing excellent. I saw a squirrel. It did not make me smile, though. Is that okay? I think that's okay. Anyways, the only reason why I grabbed this edge and dropped it down is because I want this front part to have a little bit more of a smooth curve to it. And then I'm going to select this part. I'm actually going to... No, I don't think I'm going to select that one. I'm actually going to select this one. I'm just going to pull this one up. I need to go into this. I need to press 1 on the keyboard. Yeah, see that right there. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take these three. I actually want to pull these in just a little bit, not too much. Then I'll take these three. I'm going to pull them back. About like that, because I want a smooth curve over here. But at the same time, I want to have kind of a sharp edge. Just not too much of a sharp edge. So once you've done that, you can observe everything, admire your work, completely optional. And I'm just going to grab this whole outside face, this outside edge right here. I'm just going to grab my scale tool and make it flat, make sure it's flat. Yeah, nothing real complicated there. Now you can pull this forward a little bit. That's completely fine. And I think I just pulled it forward too much. So I'm thinking something like that should be alright. Everything else in there looks good. We have a gap. That makes me happy. So now is what I want to do. Not UV. I want to go into object mode. Under object mode is what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Actually, let me think about this for a quick second. Because in this image, I totally forgot about this. It has a signal lamp indentation. And I'm not going to add the black strip that goes across. I don't think it's really necessary to add that kind of detail, but I do want to make this back part kind of flat. So I will do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press 3 on the keyboard. I'm actually going to select these two faces right here. And I'm also going to select this section over here. I'm just going to make sure I have all of that. So all I'm going to do is like, maybe not quite that. I'm going to make it flat though. I do want that to be flat. That is a definite must. So I'm just going to go up here, press F on the keyboard. No, the sound is not delayed. I'm just moving my fingers faster than what I'm thinking. So, yeah, my wife likes it when I do that. Sorry, honey. So anyways, that's all I'm going to do right there. So now we have this nice flat edge like what we've seen in the picture. Let me see. Whoa, come on now. So I'll actually probably want to grab these vertices right here. I'm just going to move these out just a little bit, not too much. I'm going to object mode, Control S. That makes me save it. This way I don't screw up anything or my computer doesn't like fart on me and die. Yeah, that always sucks when that happens. Have you all ever had a computer fart on you and die? Okay, back to the tutorial. So I'm just going to move that edge in there a little bit because I want that to be continuously rounded, or as much as possible anyways. So when we go into the smooth preview, you can see that looks decent. Alright, front image time. So I'm going to turn on the front image, and that's the wrong view. Right here under the front image, now I know this curves down. Let me think about this for a quick second. I'm actually going to go and turn off that, and I'm going to move this back here. Why do I keep doing that? Nope, that won't work either. Okay, so screw you, image. Alright, front image. There we go. I'm just going to... I think what would be a good idea is just to select everything, and we're going to assign it a new layer and hide it. So this way I can go into the front view like this and do what I need to do. That was the housing. So right here, is what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have to create a series of cuts to make the shape. And an easy way of doing this is, I think I'm going to turn that off, and I'm actually going to create a new edge loop. So I'm going to create an edge loop right here, and that's the only, well, no, I think I'm going to add one more. This way I don't have to fart with it too much. We're just going to cheat a little bit. So we have quite a bit of distance to work with this on, so we're good there. But is what I want to do, see, I think those are, I don't know if those are round or if they actually, yeah, okay, so these are actually, they have a roundness on where they set, but for the most part they're flat. So is what we need to do, we need to go into the front view. I'm going to turn off the front image. Here it is. And that ain't going to work either. Yay. Okay, so I'm just going to the cut face. I'm just going to start cutting this. Or actually, we're going to cheat a little bit more. I'm just going to grab this, flat, right here, flat, and then that's it. Let me go into the smooth mode, and you can't really even see where it's even flat, so that should work out rather nicely. I'm going to click on the extrude. I'm going to move that in just a little bit. Actually, for this, we need to move it in a little bit more than that. Probably something kind of like this. Then we're going to move it back just a little, not too much. You know, give that probably about a 35 to 45 degree angle around there. And then is what we're going to do is we're going to extrude it again, probably right about here or thereabouts. We're going to press G, and now we're going to extrude it back. We're also going to make it flat. You know, something kind of like this. It's okay if it protrudes through there. That's not a big deal. Then we're going to press G on the keyboard, and we're going to scale it. We're going to scale it in, scale it down, done. The reason why I said it's not a big deal, boom, boom, boom. Easy. So that's all we do. Let's go and press 3 on the keyboard real quick and see what we get. Good thing I didn't move that forward too much. That would have sucked. Oh, got a cough. Okay, there we go. I feel better now. So yeah, the next thing we need to do is we need to create cuts. So we're going to add a cut right about here, and we're going to add this one in probably, I'm thinking right about there. You know, we want this kind of wide, not too terribly wide, but we do want it kind of wide. And the reason for this is because we want to have a smooth curve right here. So that's why I'm not going real crazy with the cutting on this. I know all my other edges have been real tight. These will not. Move that right about here. Move this one right about here. Something about like that. Now, normally I would just cut this and duplicate it, you know, just duplicate half of it like I have been, but because this is already on this half, what I'm modeling is going to be basically a finished product for whenever I mirror it across. So that's why I'm not just doing my little duplicate trick like I normally do. Otherwise I would. So anyways, yeah. Alright, so for here, we're just going to click here, and this is really all we are doing. Call it grand, call it great, you know, I mean, some of y'all might think this is the coolest thing ever. If you do, and you're a new Maya user, don't lose that lust and that love for Maya. When you start getting great at it, you will no longer have that. I'm sorry if I just freaked you the hell out, but you know, that's kind of how I feel. Because I remember when I first started saying this, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. But now it's just kind of like, yeah, okay, that's how I do that. So anyways, I'm going to object mode, take a look at this. I'm going to object mode and take a look at this. There we go. So this is still a little too squared. So what I want to do is I want to grab these three. Actually, I'll just grab all these faces. Screw it. I'm just going to scale these down. And then I'm going to grab these three. I did not mean to do that. I'm going to grab these three. Wait, no, I want to grab these three. I want to grab the ones in the middle. And I'm just going to scale these in. Maya, why would you do that? Seriously, like, what would possess you to select those over here and over here? Sometimes I think the programmers for this program are just high half the time. I could be wrong. They might be complete legit guys that just, you know, maybe sometimes the programming screws up. I don't know. But some of the things just makes me wonder, like, why is it even doing that? Seriously. Okay, so anyways, I'm just moving those in. I'm going to move this one out just a little bit, not too much. And probably need to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. Just move it out just a little bit, not too much. And that, I think, should work. So now that we have done that, we can go ahead and duplicate this across. I'm just going to press 1 on the keyboard for both of them. I'm going to go ahead and combine them. You don't really even have to press 1, because once you combine them, it's going to give you this look anyways. But I just do it out of habit. I don't know why. So anyways, what I need to do is I actually need to add a couple more edge loops. So I'm going to, let me think about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add one edge loop. I'm going to add it right about here. And then I'm going to go into face. And then I'm going to delete this entire side. I'm going to go into vertex. I'm going to pull this forward just a little bit, probably right about there. I'm going to go into object mode, Control-Shift-D. And then I'm going to combine both of these. Then I'll go into edge. And we'll see how this looks now. Yeah, that looks better. And go ahead and save it if you haven't already. So now when we smooth this, yeah, there we go. That actually doesn't look half bad. Oh, Maya's doing it to me again. Yep, okay, so I'm going to have to close this program out. I was hoping to be able to do the rear bumper, but it looks like it's not going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to close out the program, and the next tutorial we'll start working on the rear bumper, and we'll start integrating that. So until next time, YouTube.